What's up, everybody? Welcome to Chilling with c.bo. I'm your host, c.bo, and I'm here with two people today. Pedro, what's going on, man?
What's up, y'all? Doing well. How are you?
I'm good. I literally just woke up at like 2:30, so so I'm a
I've
That
been
little,
up,
night shift, dude.
yeah.
I've been up
Uh,
since 6.
nice, nice. I was on my way home at 6.
Oh, damn.
What about you, Jack? How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. I've been waking up at 11:30,
Nice, nice.
just from getting home at 1, 2, falling asleep at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
Nice. Yeah, at 11 I'm like in the peak of my sleep probably.
Dude, it's insane how much of a shift your body has to go through in order to adapt to working night/overnight shifts.
Yeah.
I'm still angry that I don't get to see the sun for as long as I for as long as I want to.
It's
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 evolved.
something. But we got to make sacrifices in this world, you know?
For the
Yeah.
job we want, we have to make sacrifices.
Mhm.
All right, guys. So, I guess we're going to go right into it. Last week some of the biggest news probably to happen was the loss of one of the most beloved actors in Hollywood right now, who not only played Black Panther, but he played Jackie Robinson, Thurgood Marshall, and was in a movie that me and Juan watched and actually reviewed in one of our first podcasts called The Five Bloods.
And
And
James Brown.
what?
Play James Brown,
And
too.
he played James Brown too, all within 5 years. And his name is Chadwick Boseman, and we lost him, and it was probably one of the celebrity deaths that shocked the world the most since Kobe Bryant, which was this year as well. And I gotta say, this is one of the losses that hurts the most because we lost an icon that was a symbol of representation and someone who not only just put he not only put like 100% into the roles he put in, but when we found out that he was fighting his cancer while making these movies, it just you just see him as one of the most generous artists of our time because he literally put himself on the line just for the art and so people can enjoy whatever he put out and made those sacrifices, and we just never knew except for his close circle. Like even his Marvel people didn't even know, and they were just as shocked as us that when they found out the news. And yeah, it really sucks that he's gone. My thoughts are out there with his family, and yeah. What about you guys?
Well, when we found out, Juan had like a major breakdown, basically. He was like, oh my God! It was like time stopped for him, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
And honestly, I I feel like great. What else can 2020 throw at us? We just lost a big iconic actor and and if I can be honest here, kind of a major advocate for uh, the strength of Black people in the film industry.
absolutely.
It to be honest, like it sometimes doesn't feel real.
No,
It doesn't. It's like how you look at someone like Chadwick Boseman and you see them, they look like they're at the prime of their health, like at their best. To think this man is fighting such an aggressive form of cancer, going through so much surgery and chemo, visiting children hospitals, working out to be a, a strong superhero, or studying up litigation to be a good lawyer, or working up his voice to be a good singer. This is this is a prime example of what a good Oscar-worthy actor should be, to push themselves to the limits physically and mentally in order to give a performance that that, that captivates the world. I think we just lost a really rare and fantastic breed of actor.
yeah. What about you, Jack? How you feeling during all this?
I don't know. It has been it was very jarring. Uh, when I found out about it. It's just one of those things where you can't. There's no way for you to be prepared for when this type of thing happens. This is kind of reminiscent of when, like, someone like Robin Williams just suddenly passes away, just
Yeah.
just taken before you you think it's their time, and it's it piles on top of a lot of things that a lot of people are going through currently, and for some it might be the straw that kind of breaks the camel's back in a way, but know that uh, the the pain is temporary, even though 2020 wants us to believe that there's no end to this crazy madness that we're going through. But it is going to get better, and you see the opportunities that people are willing to go out of their way, and all the support that his family has been given, and it's the kindness that comes out of the sadness that really kind of makes it feel better. But it is a loss. Like, there's not much else I can really say about it that hasn't already been said by you guys, as well as
Tons of
some of
other
those
people. Yeah.
tons of other people that got to actually meet him and know him on a personal level.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really my take.
Yeah.
It is very sad thing.
Yeah. And it's just like when you watch Black Panther now, it's just like it's crazy how much like the themes and like the topics it goes through with like death and like family and like the ancestral plane and stuff like that. And it's like, wow, this really hits even harder now that he's gone than it was when when we thought it was just everything was okay with him. And it's just like I wonder if he was thinking the same thing as well. It's like, whoa, like I'm fighting this and I'm doing these movies with all these like heavy themes. It's just like, damn. But yeah, you're right, Jack. It's it's insane. It's a big loss in Hollywood. But man, what a run he had in these last 4 to 5 years that we can celebrate, and it's unlike any other actor that's out there. And yeah, rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. And yeah, well, Pedro, you had something else to say?
His death kind of reminds me of James Dean's death, in that he was someone full of potential and taken
Yeah,
so young. And I know we've seen Chadwick Boseman in a lot of good films, a lot of great films, but I feel like he had a lot more to give to the film industry.
absolutely, absolutely. And yeah, it's a huge loss, and he has so much potential to be something even greater. All right, so I guess we got all our thoughts on that out. So I guess we'll go on to the next one. I kind of wish Juan was here for this. Juan is not here, guys, but I'm sure you guys heard about this when the NBA decided to sit out its games, and some of the other leagues followed with the MLB, the MLS, and all that. I think last Wednesday the Bucks decided to sit out their game because of the police brutality going on, and the rest of the NBA followed for the next couple days. And they had some meetings with the owners and stuff like that, and then they kind of came to a compromise and they started playing again. But now, one of the biggest things to come out of that was that they're going to use all the NBA arenas in the country as voting locations. And NBA is also going to be more active in social justice stuff and everything. So, what do you guys think about that? About the sports just sitting out and all that for a couple of days?
I think I think the use of the stadiums is a great idea for voting, just because there's been this huge dis mistrust with the mailing service, and how the UPS is kind of in hard times, and there's just a lot of ish going on, and sports were stopped for so long, and now they brought them back briefly, and now the idea that they're going to be back on hold for a bit,
No, they're back again. It's just they're gone from like Wednesday. Well, basketball specifically, the NBA was gone from Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and they started back up again on Saturday.
Well, that's 3. That's 3 days.
Yeah, but it was crazy because that never really happens at all. Like players just protesting and not playing a game, you know?
Well, it's kind of how it shows that with people have more power than I guess that you could say they're given credit, because a lot
Yeah,
of the times when I've talked to some of my friends and I have talked about how real change doesn't come from, even though real change does come from people like us, it most certainly does. It's even louder when it comes from people with more uh
power,
yeah, with more power, and we put
like
people in the
athlete, like
with
professional
a lot of power
athletes.
in athletes and stuff like that. So seeing them be the ones to stop sports for this amount of days is huge. And the only thing really, I don't know. Yeah, that's really it. I thought I had more of a thought there, but
It's
yeah,
all, it's all good. It's all good.
yeah.
Pedro, what about you? What are your thoughts on the NBA sitting out a couple of days with some leagues following suit, and then what the results that came out of this?
I think it's kind of ironic because these are. Remember we discussed that players are been itching to play outside, show their goods, so that they could get onto the main teams and play and get paid.
Yeah,
Well, now like the issue of BLM and all these police shootings has now reached to the point where players feel like now they have to do something because it's getting so far out of hand and so uncontrollable that people of that platform now feel like they have a responsibility as not only celebrities but as people of color, people of status to do something. Protesting is really the only thing they can do at this point. And every little bit counts, but for the sake of the movement, would 3 days out really make a difference?
no, but it doesn't, but it does at the same time because that has like never happened before, and again like the results that came out, one of the biggest things was the NBA is gonna be more involved in social justice, and for this November, all NBA arenas are going to be used for voting locations, which is that's awesome.
Now that I like that
Yeah.
they're turning NBA's arenas into stadiums, and I hope that the NFL and the MLB follow suit. We need voting stations.
Yes, we do because of how messed up the mailing is and everything, and there's still a pandemic going on.
Exactly. Now more than ever, the entertainment industries need to put their foot down for social in terms of social and political issues. They sometimes either are too vocal or they're too quiet about it. Especially sports. They try to
Hmm.
take sides, but right now a stand must be made for not only for Black Lives Matter, but for all social matters. Racism, sexism, age, ageism, even. All of this all this needs to be addressed, or else we risk more people getting shot, more people getting hurt, more riot inciting. What's next? Someone accidentally launches a nuke, and then we don't say a word about it.
I don't know, man. It's very unpredictable times we're living in. So,
Try to get so hot about it. This is just this is the first time I've ever seen sports people actually put their hands into the proverbial mud of political and social issues.
yeah, no, it's definitely a new thing, and it's kind of, well, players have been doing it for a while, but it's like not like this. Like this is a whole new level.
Exactly.
Yes. All right, so we got a good conversation out of that, so that's good. So I guess we're gonna go into our next topic, which is the movie we saw for this week's podcast. an indie horror movie from A24 that made the waves a couple years ago, but none of us ever really saw till right now, and that is The Witch, starring Anya Taylor-Joy from Split, Glass, and New Mutants. And yeah, we saw it, and so I guess I'll start with you, Jack. Jack, what did you think of The Witch with two V's?
The Vitch.
The Witch.
It was very. I was saying this to you guys before we started, but there are a lot of movies on Netflix just called The Witch or Witch or Witches
Or Witcher.
or Witch. No, I'll never mistake The Witcher. That show's so good. I didn't know. I didn't know. Behind the Witcher was a series on Netflix. I thought it was just a podcast, but that's beside the point. The Witch is this, for those that are a little unfamiliar with it, is the historical set piece about people, like witch stories that were told during the time of Salem, and this was apparently an adaptation of those tellings of events that happened after this family gets pushed out of a settlement in the 1800s.
This looks no, this looks like 1600s.
Mid
1600s.
1600s.
Yeah,
Very, very, very long time ago.
yeah.
And I don't want to say any spoilers right now, but I will say I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I don't think it was as scary as other horror movies that I've seen. It's unsettling at
Yes, it
times
is.
for sure,
It's
but
creepy. Yeah.
yeah, like there was nothing there that made me kind of scared.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, that's what my spoiler free stuff.
So what about you, Pedro? What do you think of The Witch?
Oh man. First of all, like when I hear the double V, it makes me think like how Germans say the W, like the Vitch.
Yeah.
So I'm
They are
thinking
well, they are newly settled. They are a newly settled family, so
true, and
yeah.
they may or may not have some kind of Germanic roots, but that's
Besides the point. Yeah.
well. First, this movie was more psychological than it was scary. All right, it's subtle in how it represents its fear.
Yeah.
And for once, I'm actually going to try and keep this spoiler free.
Yeah.
But yeah, like some events in this film, like the more you think about them, the scarier they are.
Yes, that's yeah.
And I will admit, there was some moments where I had one eye closed and the other one like this. But that's just a coping mechanism. I'm not like my brother Juan, which I don't know how when you'll see it. He was like this. No! Oh my God! No! Yeah! And like
I cannot wait to see that, by the way.
he hates scary movies, and this was something that unsettled him. But at least, and the next time we do this, let's pick one with more jump scares. That would be
I won't be so cruel. I'll probably pick like a slasher or something.
all right.
Yeah.
But my thoughts on this movie was that first of all, I thought that like there was a lot of symbolism of sin in this.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Yeah, I kind of want to talk about it, but
We'll do a spoiler section. Right now we're doing our non-spoiler thoughts.
all right. There was a lot of representation of sin, which was very clever on the writer's end.
Yes.
So, and overall, it's a good peace movie. Not so much scary, but disturbing.
Yeah. Yeah, I really dug this movie. It kind of just hit what I like. You know, I love fall. I love I love horror movies, and this kind of hit. And I kind of like these type of movies that are just kind of set in the forest, and it's just creepy and just there's weird stuff going on in the forest, and it's like they kind of hit it for me. So it's kind of a movie I needed right now because I'm like, I'm ready for fall now. Like, yes. But yeah, I really dug this movie. Anya Taylor-Joy was really good. This is her first like big role. And now she's even more famous with being in these big movies.
She's our age, and that's so weird.
Yeah, she was, yeah. So yeah, that's cool. She was like 16, 17 making that movie. It's crazy.
Yeah.
What were we doing at 16, 17?
I was picking my nose.
I
That's it.
I was getting into Green Lantern comics.
And I was just in high school being an idiot. So, but yeah,
All being very productive members of society.
yeah. So,
Take that.
like you guys said, this was more disturbing and psychological than it was actually like scary. But like, the more you think about some certain things that happened, you're like, oh man, that's really messed up. And like, this movie does play with your head a little bit. You're like, wait, what's going on? You're like, what's happening? And like, I don't know. I kind of really like. I kind of dug how it mixed pilgrim stuff with like horror and like the Salem witch stuff. That the movie wasn't about like Salem witch, but it was definitely like, it definitely had a presence, and like, yeah, it's just like, you really think those pilgrims like really like saw something, man? Back in those times, like there's some really like weird stuff, man, that they write about. Like not even just like accusing people, but it's just like there's some weird stuff, man.
Yeah, like they say they've seen these things, but how much of you? The only way you can really prove them wrong is if you were there. So it's one of those kind of Bigfoot scenarios
Yeah.
where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I saw Bigfoot. It's like, did you really see Bigfoot though?
It was like, were we there? Like,
I saw Bigfoot, so I believe he's there. And there's this whole thing, but it was really cool how I really enjoyed the dialogue of this movie. I thought
yeah, I
at
found it
first
kind
I
of
would be a
refreshing.
little lost, but you know, like the more you like get used to it, like after the first couple minutes when they get sent out of the settlement and start making their own little farm on the outskirts, you kind of just kind of settle into it really really easily. Like it's not a ridiculous form of English that I was worried it was going to evolve into, but
It was understandable, yet period appropriate.
yeah.
It wasn't like Shakespeare.
Yeah, and I was just about to say, like, with the actors' physical performances, you always kind of knew what was going on, even if you weren't really like understanding what they were saying. You with their physical performances, you're like, oh, okay, I get what they're saying and stuff like that.
My favorite character was the father.
Yeah,
William?
Yes, William. uh I'm just looking up his name real quick. You're probably here. Oh, I don't have internet. That's why I had issues before. But if you could look up what the dad's the dad's actor person's name,
yeah.
he did a great job. I was rooting for him the whole time throughout this movie. I just wanted him to enjoy his life, his belief in God with his family in the woods and everything, and it wouldn't be a big issue.
His name is Ralph Ineson.
Ralph Innocent.
Yes.
Good, great performance. I wanted him. I really got invested in his character. And
He's been in a lot of things, but like in supporting roles, so that's pretty cool. I knew I recognized him. I think he's one of those political members in Harry Potter. Pedro, did you recognize him?
Yeah, but there was also another actor in that film I recognized. I'll get to later. But yeah, I did recognize that Ralph was one of those Harry Potter judges. I think in Order of the Phoenix. When they were judging him.
He's in the Ministry of Magic. Yes.
I knew it was him.
Yeah. yeah. I recognize him too. Yeah.
I love Harry Potter.
Oh, and I really loved how, if you read about the production of this movie, they used natural lighting. There was no like artificial lighting. They just used like the natural lighting that they had from day and night. And I thought that was really cool. And I really liked how pleasant, visually pleasant. The night scenes were with the fire in the background and stuff like that. I'm like, fall. I love it.
Stuff was also just even though with only using natural lighting, there were a lot of really beautifully lit scenes in this movie, just from uh like the dinner they had together at the table. There's
When
the scene out in the woods with the witch, that I thought it was haunting, but in a good way. Like it wasn't like it's haunting and disturbing and I hate this. Like it was beautiful how it, like the way everything was lit in that scene. I was like, oh wow, this is. If I were to take a screenshot of this and put it up on a wall, people would think it's a painting. Like I was like,
Yeah.
ooh.
Yeah.
And there were a couple moments like that in this movie. They really like to play wide. Like there
Yeah.
were a lot of scenes that they shot from way, way, way out of the way.
Yeah. I like that though. You could tell they put like their hearts and souls into making this movie,
Yeah.
especially with the limited resources that they had. But sometimes, but like we discussed before in our indie discussion, sometimes limited resources are the best for creativity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when you're given so little, you can work with so much.
Yes. So before we go into spoiler territories, what would you guys give this movie?
A solid 7.5.
as a historical character piece, I'd give it like a solid 8.
Yeah,
As a horror movie, maybe like a 5.
that's fair. Okay, I give it overall an 8. I think I really dug it, and we're definitely gonna watch more horror movies in October, definitely. And I don't want to get into like horror conversations until like October hits.
And
So
maybe,
Go.
maybe we could call Fright Fest as a topic for the podcast too.
yeah, but yeah, we'll save all that. It's literally just September today.
Mhm.
Yeah, happy September, guys. Yeah.
Someone
Pumpkin
sent
stuff is
me,
coming out and all that. Yeah.
someone sent
It's
me
a
a video on
low.
TikTok.
Lows up in North Bergen. There's already so many inflatable Halloween stuff and skeletons.
Oh man, I love it. Yeah,
I love Halloween. It's my favorite holiday.
yeah.
Someone
I love
sent
this time. This time of year is the best for me. September to December. I love it.
Me too.
Yeah,
Me too.
yeah.
Um,
Okay, I guess now we're gonna go into spoiler thoughts. So spoiler warning, guys. There's timestamps. So if you go into the timestamps, you'll know when the spoilers are over.
Do you have the segments yet? Like the
What do you
segmented bits?
What do you mean?
Yeah, how sometimes on YouTube, I think they made it a prominent feature, but like you can break the video up into bits in the
oh,
timeline of the video.
Yeah, yeah. That happens when you put timestamps in there. Like,
Oh, I'm dumb.
yeah,
Never mind. Ignore me. I
yeah.
forget how YouTube works.
Yeah. So yeah, oh my God, there's a lot of crazy scenes that happen in this movie. So like what do you guys really like think this movie like what was like the main like do you think this witch was real? Like or was it just like this family going insane?
So I think this witch was real. I just didn't understand. Like, yes, they alluded to Black Phillip, the goat,
Being the
being
devil, yeah.
being the devil, but it felt very strange to introduce an actual witch person and then have them go like capture Cable and the inciting child Sam
Was that
and
the baby?
the baby
Yeah. That was messed
suddenly
up.
just
Holy crap. Oof. What a
yeah
beginning that movie had.
just never get back to it. It was just very weird how they used the witch to start it and then ended it with Black Phillip.
Yeah.
Although I thought it was going to be one of those things where the Thomason that's the main character.
Thomasine.
Thomasine.
Tom,
I thought it was going to be one of those things where she accuses of course, this being a horror movie, there are some unsettling like twins that have to say everything together at the same time or sing something. But
Not all twins are that creepy.
Yeah, like you and Juan are creepy.
Hey!
I bet you and Juan were creepy as hell while you were little.
listen, if the two of you just started singing together at the same time, at the same like beat and everything, it would be creepy. You can't say that.
We did have kind of our own language when we were 3. We only spoke to each other and babbles and stuff. So.
Yeah. Are you sure you guys aren't in a horror movie?
You guys are Black Phillip.
Collectively, you guys are one goat.
I do have books on cults, but that was for a class.
Yeah, I just didn't. I am surprised at the shift that they did with.
Yeah, it was a huge shift how they went from a witch to a goat devil. That
So fuck that goat.
Yeah. What about you? What about you, Pedro? What are some spoiler thoughts that you have that
First of all, with the witch, when I saw her ground up Sam into like a bloody paste and then smear herself all over it. My God, that is some Puritan scare propaganda. If I haven't seen it. Second, remember at the beginning the judges that was casting out the family from the plantation. That the judge in the middle, the one that was sentencing them away. He's from Supernatural. He's death. So
whoa. I didn't recognize him.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
That's so cool.
And I thought, oh my God, death is there. Is that symbolism that means they're being sentenced to death outside the plantation?
They're like, man, we love Supernatural.
Exactly. Like that must be like an Easter egg or something. And then, like each of the family members, or some of them, fall prey to at least one of the 7 deadly sins. I counted like 3 or 4. The father was a victim of his pride, thinking that the people at the plantation did not praise God the way that he praises God. As you guys may have learned in high school, Puritans were God-fearing people.
Yes.
Everything they did was under the guise of an angry God that would punish them for every little thing they did, whether it be thought or action. They were paranoid, and they really, really were into punishment. Especially witches. They would kill witches just to prove that someone was or was not a witch.
Yes.
Anyway, back to the 7 deadly sins thing. The father, who was like an ultra Puritan, his pride killed him, and that he pulled his family out of the safety of a plantation, thinking he could do it better. Kind of like a symbolism of how Lucifer tried to take away heaven's control from God, thinking he could do it better, and was cast out. Then you have the mother, who's both her sons, her youngest one and the oldest one, dead, and being driven insane by grief. And then she tried to kill Thomason, thinking it's all her fault. Her wrath got her killed. So, and then you have the twins. The twins were, let's face it, they were annoying as fuck.
I mean, most like kids at that age are annoying.
Yeah, but these two guys are like, they were taunting and hurting Thomason. Like, I don't know if that was envy because she's the eldest, or sloth because they didn't help her with any of the chores. But the way that they died, like, you saw the 2 lambs outside the barn after the witch attacked, right?
Yeah.
That must have been a symbolization of slaughter of the lambs, of the sacrificial lambs.
Okay.
It's a lot of biblical references. And then you have Thomason.
What about Caleb? What is he? What do you?
I'm gonna get to that with Thomason.
Okay.
As you guys probably noticed, Caleb kind of had like a unnatural incestuous fascination with Thomason. He kept looking down her.
That was weird.
That was
I had
sick.
I had a question about that. Was it incestuous or is it starvation? Because they're alone. Like they're alone out there in the wilderness, so to speak, and he is a boy
He's a
coming
growing boy. He's about to be like a teenager.
He's like
receiving
11.
these I don't know, he's receiving like the natural urges that one gets at the a pubescent age.
Yeah.
Does that seeing those aspects in his sister, like the things that draws him towards this lust, which is I assume the what you were going with this is the lust for something that
Thompson is lust for Caleb, and that she is an object of sexual frustration that he is facing as she is the only provocative female in his vicinity, even though she's his sister. So they're both like a victim of lust, but he less so because he's a kid. He doesn't understand these feelings. And he's also trying to be like his dad, a proud Puritan Christian, trying to lead his life like his dad has.
Yeah.
He's the only innocent victim of that whole family, victim of circumstance and sin.
So what's Thomason then?
Thomason, she was alienated from her family, treated like an outcast ever since Sam was taken. And I think that was the witch's plan all along. They were trying to ostracize her from the rest, trying to seduce her toward Black Phillip or the devil's path. All right. First they killed the baby under Sam's watch, under Thomason's watch. Then she and Thomason went into the woods to look for food, and then Caleb got taken by the witch. Then she threatens the twins, and the twins accuse her of being a witch. In which case, the mom, already grief-stricken, already blames Thomason for Sam's death, and then she went and blamed her for Caleb's death, and then the next morning, when almost everyone is dead, the father is killed by Black Phillip, the twins are dead, it's only the mother and her left. Who else can she blame? And the last person of the family turns on her. And now you have Thomason, who killed her mother. She is all alone. There is no one, nothing that can comfort her. She has nothing to go for. She can't even go back to the plantation alone. What's she going to tell them? Oh, the devil killed my family. I need your help. Puritans will help anyone who was touched by the devil. If anything, they would have killed her.
Yeah.
What can she do?
Be a witch.
Exactly. She went to Black Phillip naked, and then she wrote her name in his book, went to the woods, and started flying like a pixie.
Yeah, that was some really like creepy but like beautiful imagery at the end. Like when she was like walking and then you see like the people and then she just fucking flies and levitates and becomes a witch.
Yeah,
So,
it kind of takes on that aspect of I went to go look up the director. I wanted to see who made Hereditary.
That's a different person. That is Ari Aster. Yeah.
That the ending of that movie and the ending of this movie felt very similar.
Yes.
Sense of, I guess it's slight spoilers for Hereditary, but like they suddenly take this turn where you want to believe that it is like a crazy natural, like, oh, it could very well be this, but it's also probably this as well. And then at the end it finally just goes, you know what, you didn't have any idea, like this is way weirder than you thought it would be, and it turned into like this like witches are real and witches do have powers, and some of them were riding tree branches like broomsticks into the night, and
but it's
that,
depicted in in a way that makes it seem like this could happen in your backyard.
yeah.
Yeah. I live near a forest, and that freaks me out.
Yeah, there's just naked women just floating and levitating and chanting about the devil.
But yeah, what I wanted to bring up to point with all that was that, the family fell to sin. They were playthings for the devil, basically. And that's what happened.
Yeah. That's it's kind of the movie's kind of like an identity crisis of how we view religion and how it could make or break us.
Yep. And how fanaticism can turn even the most well-meaning of believers into monsters.
Yeah, definitely. Off the topic, the mom was from Game of Thrones. She's like the weird. Yeah. Did you guys watch Game of Thrones or?
I've seen a few seasons.
Yeah. But yeah, that's how I recognize it. I'm like, oh, where is she from? Where is she from? Then I looked up the actress. I'm like, oh yeah, I know who she is. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. But yeah, good movie, good experience, and we got to choose something for next week. So what the hell are we gonna watch for next week? We always come to this.
I don't know. I mean, you had a scary movie. Why don't you do like a lighthearted movie?
Okay.
Recommendations?
What'd you say?
Any recommendations?
That is a great. I'm gonna start looking at Netflix right now.
Should we look at other historical pieces, but with a less a horrific tone? Although I feel like a lot of times people are gonna do a period piece and it's kind of bad for.
Is that Mary? What's her name? What was the name of that woman who had discovered radiation?
Madame Curie?
Yeah. Do you think that Madame Curie thing on Hulu is that a miniseries or a movie?
Is it Madame Curie thing on Hulu?
Yeah.
I didn't even know.
c.bo, I thought you were plugged into the zeitgeist. How are we supposed to know? I thought you.
I don't. There's some things. There was a lot of things that slipped through the cracks, man. We all focused on things that
That is true. A lot of things tend to slip into the cracks.
Things
Let me check.
Madame Curie.
So there's Madame Curie. There's Pride. I was gonna say Pride and Prejudice, but I don't think anyone wants to watch that.
I read that book in high school and I hated it.
Oh, I low-key would be down to watch something like that, actually.
What's the movie? Wait, what's the movie with Margot Robbie and that other actress, and they both serve the Queen of England? Oh, come on, brain.
Mary Queen of Scots.
I think
that's it. That was that woman from City of Embers.
Maybe. Look up. Oh God, I gotta find internet.
She's that weird Scottish.
The thing you're thinking talking about, Pedro, it's actually on Amazon Prime. Do we have Amazon Prime, Jack?
I have Amazon Prime.
I don't, but I could find a way. I'll find a way. It's not that hard.
Okay, so that's an option.
Queen of Scots might be the thing that I was thinking about. So I think
where's that on?
Maybe Amazon or Hulu.
Oh,
it's on Cinemax.
It is on Cinemax.
Yeah, we don't got that shit.
We don't got that.
Nah.
Oh, we could do. Well, I do have an idea. I don't know if it's just because Chadwick Boseman died, but we could watch one of his historical pieces.
Okay.
And if you want lighthearted, I'm thinking either the Robinson movie or the Thurgood Marshall movie.
I'm good with either of those.
The one thing about historical movies is that for me, the beginning is a little hard to watch because you always see the struggle and the low point. All you want to do is just see them rise to what they were in history.
Mm-hmm. I don't know which one I would prefer. I like the idea of doing a Chadwick Boseman movie. Chadwick Boseman movie. Come on, brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just looking where it's available. Hold on.
Check Netflix, or I'll check Hulu.
Nah, they're all kind of you kind of have to rent it.
I don't know. I mean, even though it's still renting, I would still be down to watch either of them.
Let's see, because I was kind of down for that historical stuff, like
the more historical stuff.
Yeah, like I like Pride and Prejudice.
Well, we can do. This could be the point where we do Les Mis. That's semi-historical.
It is a French Revolution in a more musical way. But it's got Russell Crowe, Hugh Jackman, Helena Bonham Carter. All fantastic actors. Even that guy from Fantastic Beasts.
I know what you're talking about. I forget his name though. But
so do we want to say if we can't find either of the Chadwick Boseman period pieces, we'll do Les Mis?
Let's see if 42 is available anywhere. Hold on. I've seen 42, but I wouldn't mind watching it again.
Mm-hmm.
I did 42 as part of a paper I wrote for athletes, part of social activism. I studied Billie Jean King, number 42 himself, and the two Olympic winners who rose their hands during the award ceremony.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. With 42, you gotta rent it.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I don't want to get. Okay, I see.
Yeah, I'm a little.
Okay, I see.
I'm a little cheap right now.
Let's see.
So honestly, I'm down to watch Les Mis, something completely different from this.
Where is Les Mis?
It's on Netflix, so it's simple.
Okay. Oh man, this is gonna be fun.
Yes, I've never seen this before, and I don't know anything about it, and it's kind of like how I went into Hamilton. So yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, so we're watching Les Mis next week.
Hell yeah!
Awesome sauce.
All right, so I guess our last topic is one that has to do with movies, but yeah. So Governor Phil Murphy, the governor of New Jersey, has approved the opening of theaters starting this Friday. So I want to ask you guys, first off, what was the last movie you saw in theaters before the shutdown? So, Pedro, what was the last thing you saw in a dark auditorium with a big silver screen?
That's a good question. I'm just think on this. When I don't know. I think it was Spider-Man Far From Home.
Dude, that came out like last year.
I'm checking. Hold on. Well, someone else go before me because I gotta think.
What about you, Jack? What was the last one we saw in a dark auditorium with a silver screen?
I just remembered it while Pedro was kind of spitballing. Before I started my new job, I went on a trip, and on that trip, I went to see Jojo Rabbit. And that was January of this year. Yes. Of 2020. It feels like it was so much farther, like way, way long ago. But yes, I saw, it was Jojo Rabbit this year.
How was it?
I loved it. That movie is funny. It's lighthearted, even though it talks about Nazis in Germany and stuff. It tackles some hard to talk about topics, semi hard to talk about topics, and I think you should watch it.
Okay.
I've
okay.
seen it. It is awesome. Jack,
Good movie.
So last
Scarlett
movie,
Johansson is the best.
so last movie I saw in a theater, like it was literally the Sunday before everything closed down. It was a Ben Affleck basketball movie where plays a coach who has alcoholic problems.
Yeah.
Uh, I thought that was really good, and I'm like, and what a way to like end my theater run of watching a basketball movie with Ben Affleck. But it was a really good movie. It was I like sports movies in general, so it's like it kind of hits my kind of hits the things I like, and I like Ben Affleck too, so it's like yeah, it's kind of a combo. But it was a good performance from him, and it had some really touching moments, touching and emotional moments, and some raw and a really raw portrayal of alcoholism that is that's very
one that he actually had.
yeah, and it's it was what's the word I was describing? It was raw and like it wasn't God, why am I blanking out? But yeah, it was a good movie, and that's literally the last thing I saw. So what about you, Pedro? Let me ask, did you watch Sonic in theaters?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Watched it on a different platform. But I'm trying to remember.
What about Birds of Prey? Did you watch Birds of Prey?
Yeah, I did see Birds. That was the last movie I saw. Maybe.
What'd you think of that?
No. Honestly, the only good performance there was Margot Robbie.
I like Birds of Prey. That movie got a lot of hate.
Let me explain.
I can't say I've seen it.
She cemented herself as the one true real live action Harley Quinn. Okay? There is no doubt in my mind that no other actress would have been perfect for this role than her.
Yes.
Second, the others like Black Canary, and the Huntress, Huntress was completely wasted potential. She had so much more to give, and they didn't give it to her. And they spent too much time on the cop. And Cassandra Cain, you know the story of Cassandra Cain.
Yes, I agree on that. Yeah.
Yeah, there could have been so much more, and they completely changed their character compared to her comic book.
I have no idea why that was, but yeah, I like that movie. I thought it was really fun. I really enjoyed myself watching it. But yeah, okay, so it's been a while since we've been to the theater, and it's gonna be and they're allowed to open this Friday, but apparently I read somewhere that the theaters do need a little bit more time, like a week or so and change, to get business up and running again. So I gotta say, are you guys going back to the theater whenever it opens?
I'm gonna wait a little longer. I want to go back. God knows I do, but I want to wait until there's an absolute assurance of safety.
Okay, that's fair. What about you, Jack?
No, I agree. I think I'm gonna wait. I'm not really jumping at the bit to see anything anytime soon. Plus, I don't know. It's just I going to the movie theater has become a very unique event that I've turned it into. It wasn't like, oh, I go to the movie theater every Friday just for just because I want to see what's new. It's become more of a, unless there's something I really want to experience on the big screen, that's when I want to go to the movies. And right now there's not a lot of stuff that's making me want to kind of go. Like, yeah, Tenet is one of those things that's coming out soon, and everyone's super excited about it. But it's not. I'm not like, oh, I need to be there right now, kind of a thing. Like, I can wait, and if I miss its opportunity in theaters, I'm not going to feel bad about missing it or anything. Even though Tenet is filmed on like the IMAX cameras and everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the only thing I'd want to go see, but I don't know. It's very, you gotta really make it worth my while.
You need a hard sell.
I'm the complete opposite of you guys, and the second I can see Tenet, I will go see it whenever I have the free time. I'm some of my friends have seen it, and I am very jealous. And I'm like, all right, this has gone on long enough. Whenever my local theater can let me watch Tenet, I am there, and I'm probably gonna be watching New Mutants as well, because just cause I miss it, the theaters. I'm like, oh, whatever, I'll just watch this. But yeah, I am definitely gonna watch it. We should definitely, all of us should definitely see it and have a podcast about Tenet, because there's probably gonna be a lot to talk about with that movie. But the thing that makes me happy though, that about this is that since we are opening this month, when Wonder Woman 84 comes out, it'll be open. So I'm like, oh, we can have a podcast about Wonder Woman 84 as well, and maybe we could see it together.
I'd like that.
Yeah, because that's a movie we're all looking forward to, and that's probably like that's probably the big movie that's gonna get people back into the theaters. And Tenet will attract a lot of people, but you gotta be like a movie fan to soccer moms aren't taking their 8-year-old kids to see Tenet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, because of the witch. Yeah,
I forgot that was coming out.
Yeah, well, a lot of people did because
everyone's like, oh yeah, New Mutants, cool, and it just became a joke, and now everyone's like, wait, it's a movie, it's real.
Yeah, it's out. Yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna be going back in there. Yeah. I know gyms are starting to open up again, and I know indoor restaurants are gonna be opening up at 25% capacity. So yeah, that's the thing. 25% capacity is like the thing. So yeah, New Jersey's opening up now, and
I can't wait to go back to my gym. Oh, I have to. That's why I have to leave by 5, man. I have to check if my gym's open.
Well, we're pretty much done with this podcast right now. So yeah, hopefully we can all talk about Tenet sooner or later. So that'll be cool, and hopefully we can talk about Wonder Woman during a podcast as well. So yeah, can't wait for that.
Let me ask you a question. Jack, would you go to the theaters for the Batman movie if coronavirus was still around?
Ooh.
I just wear a hat. One of my friends actually wore a hat.
Yeah, no.
One of my
I
friends
would probably wear a mask to go see Batman. Yeah.
One of my friends lives in Texas, and he actually bought a disposable hazmat suit to watch Tenet.
Oh my god.
Yeah. You use it once and you're good. I don't think it was that much.
That's ridiculous. That's kind of ridiculous.
Ridiculous?
I respect it though. I fucking respect it.
No, I respect it for sure, but if you're dropping a whole bunch of money on that for that thing, I'd be real sad.
How much is a hazmat suit?
I don't think it's that much.
All right.
If
it comes down to it, I will wear a hazmat suit to Batman.
All right. Hazmat.
For sure, I would do it.
So yeah, I think that's the end of our podcast now. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me, and yeah, we'll be back next week talking about Les Mis.
Thanks for having us.
Les Mis. What's that one song? Famous song?
Can you hear the people singing? Yeah.
Angry men.
All right. Yeah. Cool.
Show. We light 'em up. We won't come down. Sun can't stop us now. That's Les Mis, right? That's Hugh Jackman.
I have no idea.
It's close enough.
Yeah. All right, guys. We'll be back next week. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for listening.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
You never see it coming. To be dinner and best right. God,